Good morning. It's morning here in Sweden. Um, June 26, uh, 2022. I I checked it up before I started this recording, what date it was. I'm terrible in this to remember what day it is, but I know it's Sunday today. And I'm not going to any gathering place for religions. Um, I am staying home, but I going to drive out maybe if it's a nice weather today. If it's because the morning started with thunderstorm and heavy rain, but now it seems be a little sunshine. And so if you hear a sound in the background, is it the thunderstorm or my neighbors upstairs, kids? Um, it was in the news today about that in Oslo, in Norway, the shooting in a gay club. It was a man from Islamic terror group that did it. He was known a person that have talking about killing gay people, and we should not kill. This is homosexual people is also humans, and we should love all humans, but we should not love what they are doing. That's the difference. It's not. It's in this Islamic extremist groups. It's either black or white. It's not something between, and that is hard for those extreme Muslim to understand this, that we have this gray zone, that we know that nothing is black or white, evil and good things. It can be between also, and but we need to know who we are. That is not a gray zone. We need to know who we are. If we are on one side, the good people trying to be good, because it can be hard sometimes when the world is pushing on and evil things pushing on to not copy evil things when you are in distress. But God knows that. God knows that how you're struggling. He knows everything. It's not that God is he see everything. It's because he have all this spirit world. He have this spirit world, and he have many spirits that look after us and reporting to him about what's going on, and that what happened when I was on my way to make a suicide, that a higher priest was with me. He have looking after me, and the higher priest came, and then he took God down to me to show God me that I was in crisis. I was on my way to make a suicide, and should we let her do that? I understand that they communicate, this higher priest and God. God didn't know it in that way, but they give him information about those like special people that they are looking after. And for me, was it a higher priest that was on in my life and look after me, because I was already ordained. I was already in God's plan what to do when He placed me here on earth. So in the same time I come to this planet, the higher priest come with me. And for other people, it's angels that you have with you, and they try their best to keep you alive, and they try their best to make you do right decisions. But when you don't listen at them, then it's hard for them to could do things when you don't communicate with them. Yesterday, my daughter was calling me, and it seems it have changed our relationship after that. I recording when she was here. I recording her and me when I talking about what happened in year 2000, and I wanted to see how much did she remember of what was going on, and she said that she was too young to remember, but she was not too young. She was 15 years, so she should know most of it. She was not a child. And so, and it was more that was coming with it. But she had tried to deny it, and the church where she is going, she have lived with them since 2002, 20 years now. So they have brainwashed her to that, like they were trying to tell me that God doesn't talk to anyone, and especially not talking to a woman. And that's what they have said that to my daughter, if she in the beginning was saying something about what happened in our home. And it's not the church, it's not the error, it's not wrong of the church, it's that they doesn't took it into them and pondering what my daughter was saying. Instead, they only cut her off and say that God not are not speaking to anyone. So that what you experience, it was demons or something like that, they maybe say. But they are some of these from my daughter's church. Some of the leaders, they are on Facebook, and my friends, maybe about 30 people is from my daughter's church. So they read what I post sometimes, some of them, and they maybe listen at this podcast, have done it, and maybe will do it later on if this will be more spread and be more people that come and listen, and then they maybe give it a try to know what's going on, and then they listen at what my daughter was experienced, that they have taken away and denied it. They have asked me how I can have such a nice daughter, and but they have never going deep into why, and I understand it, because that's what's in people's nature. I know it when I was walking in United States homeless. There were no one that asked me where I come from. I must have sounded not have broken English, not could speak everything, and they should have asked me where I'm coming from and sit down and listen to me, but they never did it. It's the nature in people, the laziness, this laziness, and then also don't open a door that you can't close. That can make you change your thinking, your belief. It can, if you go in that direction, it can take you in a place where you have to think deeper, and that you can be understand that everything that you grow up with, that you thought it was the truth, it's not the truth. You have been lied on the whole life, and you don't want to know it and don't want to hear it. That's in the nature. So I don't say anything about it, because this is a test on you. I am not here to convince you to believe in what I'm saying. I'm here to tell you about God and heaven and my life, and it's up to you to make the decision. God, in the end of it, God will tell you when you are coming to heaven, because everyone is going to heaven. No one is going to hell immediately. Those very bad people, they are going to heaven also. But then when the court is going to tell them what they have done, and they don't regret it and repent from what they have been on earth, then they are swept out from everything. they are not going to be here. No one is going to know them. That's the hell. To know, for those people that is not harden their heart, they will cry and ask for forgiveness and repent from what they have done. But there is some people that never do it, and they are not going to be they are like it's not, we can't erase the history. Their names are in the history, evil people, but their names are not going to written into heaven. That's what it means, that they heaven doesn't remember them, and their names is only here on earth, written in books, but they are not here, and they are not in heaven, and they are not in hell, because the hell is this to know these things that you have done here on earth. And I am also going through hell, because I have done many bad things in my life, and I have not been criminal, and I have not done drugs, but I have drinking very much and done stupid things when I have been drunk, and in other way also, because there is something inside me when people put me up on the wall, and I have no way to coming out from the situation. Then it's like I get help of the devil in that way. It's I can be like black in my head and not knowing what I'm doing. I only doing in an angry way, and sometimes I have told people that don't let me go there where I don't can have any way to escape from the situation. Don't test me in these things, because I can kill in that moment, literally kill. It have been people that have stopped me from killing another person, because I have been total black in my brain, blackout. So I have done many bad things, but I admit it, and I ask God to not bring me there anymore, for me to do bad things. My daughter, she started to talk about Muslims, that people think, she say that the media think they are converted, but political. But it's not political. It's a religion. It's a tradition, and it's there is many branches of Islam. So you should not judge Islam and Muslim in one box. Put them in one, all in one box, because there is a Muslim people that is nice and try to understand other tradition and religions, and be by themselves in that way, to not judge and go into extremely violence things. That's they are human, every Muslim, and we should love them. Love your enemies, and that is if we are children of God, we should love all the people, but we should not love what they are doing. And it's their responsibility to find their way to God. And like Christian people, most of you are born into a religion, and you walk in that way because you have grew up with it, and you have been together with your parents into the church and hear those things. I don't like when I see on Facebook those children videos about they are praying. They are 2 years old, and they don't know. They only copied those adults around them. They don't know, and they get so much attention. I erase those. I block those pictures because it's very sad for me to know those children that is going into a belief system without thinking deeper about it, where it's coming from, and it's not your parents that make your relationship with God. It's you. It's on you. It have nothing with how you grow up in what they have told you when you were a child and grew up, and what group of people you were placed in of your parents, and also that you also walk into those groups. You have the responsible for your life. You have the responsible to find the way back to God. And then it doesn't matter where you are coming from. If you are Muslim, if you are Hindu, if you are in all kind of Judaism, if you are in those belief system, it have nothing with you to do. It's you have to know that those belief system is not you. That's not how you get the relationship with God. Relationship with God is out from all these system groups, all this what you read and hear from people. Your relationship with God is to come to know God, for real, and for to listen to God. There is some people saying this inside voice. You know it by your guts. Those things is from heaven, but it can also coming from the devil, and you need to find out who is talking inside you, the guts, or the mostly the guts is when people say that when something good have happened, and but also evil things can they say also that they felt it with the guts, and you have to come into this knowledge, who is talking inside me, who am I host for. You need to know that, and you need to, it's a spirit here now it's a spirit coming, and so the spirit, maybe he have something to say in this. It's not my podcast, is the podcast for heaven to talk to you. So if this spirit want to tell you something, then I open up the door, I open up my mouth for you to place the words inside my mouth. So let's see what he's saying. Or she, I got this, that this spirit come inside me, so it's ready to talk. So the first word I hear is for heaven have decrees. It's like, I think it's, I don't know the word, is proclaim, maybe, decrease. For the heaven have decrees, he say, this spirit. You should not take God in vain. The name of God you should not take in vain, he say. Because you should know who is your God and not play with it. He is saying this things. It's to take serious about God and not like whatever. You should not use God's name in whatever. And it have nothing with the name to do. It have with the whole relationship with God. It's not about the name of God. Your God can have another name, Shema or El or Yah, Elohim, and it doesn't matter the name. It's when he say you should not take God's name in vain, it means everything that have with God to do. It's not about the name. It's now he's teaching us about what it says in the Bible, to not take God's name in vain. I have not read it, so I don't know what's about this. But he explained it for me in that way, that it's about everything that have with God to do, he is saying. To take God's name in vain is to lightly saying and acting in this that have with God to do. There, I don't like when they say this, but he is saying my name, and he's saying that it's what Eva have told you, that all of these religions and traditions, belief system, they have some truth and right things in them, and that's the first step for you to know what is the truth and right in that belief system you are in. And when you find the key, then you start to grow branches out from it, and he's telling me the tree of knowledge. It started from the ground, and that can be where in your belief system you have grown up in or are in, that you take that, because there is, in many places they have said the same thing, and if it's not copy, he went out, so I started coughing, because that he's not talking inside me now. He's still here, but he's not inside me. It was only that he wanted to say, don't take God's name in vain. That's why he went into me. And it's you should compare all this belief system, at least those that have most people in them, and see what is they have in common. It's from Abraham. It's this they coming out from the same branch, the same tree, but then they grow their own branches, and you need to know the history of religions and traditions to understand what's in the truth, and you have to study these things to come to know God and be on the right path. And when you start to do this, he's telling me now, but he's outside my body, but he's saying this to me, that when you start to study these things, and you have to study where your scriptures is coming from, where the Bible is coming from, and where the Quran is coming from, and all this going back to the history about what happened in the past that make it be so big belief system. This they have the same start, but why did they go from there to different directions? And some is going away from God in that way also. And you have to come back to the source. It's about the source the whole time. That's one of the main keywords, to know the source, where it's coming from. And you will see it when you compare and put them together, and you see there is some truth that is coming from the start, and it's have been into this belief system the whole way until today. And then you know this is those truth things, the foundation of to know God. And then you built on it your own branches, your path. It's your tree. It's not that you take from another tree that is not coming from your relationship with God. Is the tree of knowledge that you personal have with God and heaven. And it's time for me to end here, because many of you are going to church today, if you don't have service on Saturdays. Some have on Saturdays, some have Sundays. But many are busy this morning, later on, so the episode should not be very long. It's you have got those words for today, what to do, how to find the truth, and find your way in the relationship with God, is to build your tree, not cut from other trees. The only copy and cut you can have is what's coming from Abraham. Those 5 books, is it 5 books or 4 books in the Bible from the beginning of the Old Testament? That's where you get the foundation for your tree and your relationship with God. So thank you for listening, and God bless you.